Hello students, welcome you back in the next lecture of Mathematics 1, that is Algebra. We are studying chapter number 4, that is Ratio and Proportion. Okay. And in that we have completed the topics ratio, properties of ratio, operation on equal ratios and theorem of equal ratios I explained you last time. Okay, now let us see more sums from this particular topic, that is theorem on equal ratios. Okay, so we are going to study this topic today. So let us start. See, we have started with practice set 4.4. All the solved examples based on theorem on equal ratios I have taken. Okay, now here what is the theorem on equal ratios? As I have explained you, if you are provided with the equal ratios, then you can add all the numerators in the numerator and denominators in the denominator. Also you can multiply the ratio by the same number in both the places, and then also you can add or subtract. That is theorem on equal ratios. Okay, so now we are starting with practice set 4.4, which is based on theorem on equal ratios or theorem of equal ratios. Okay, so first sum I am solving for you. Second one, which is similar, you will solve by yourself by using the same method as we have done in the first one. Okay, so let us start. Here see, two fill in the blanks are given. Okay, so we are going to solve them separately first, and then we are going to write from 1 and 2 the final answer. Okay, so here you are provided with these two equal ratios, and from this you have to write these two ratios. Okay, so here you need to observe that here you have 3x and here you have 5y. Okay, you know that in theorem of equal ratios we add the numerators. So in the numerator here we must have 3x and we must have 5y here. Then and then only we can add. Okay, so first of all we should start with what is provided to us and what we want to find. Okay, so see, x upon 7 is equal to y upon 3. The two equal ratios are provided. As I have said, we want 3x for the first ratio. So to the first ratio I am multiplying and dividing by 3. I can do that. You know that the ratio remains the same if we multiply and divide numerator and denominator both by the same non-zero number. Okay, so since I want 3x here, I am multiplying and dividing by 3, or I am multiplying both the places. Okay, similarly I want 5y here, so I am multiplying this ratio where I have y, I am multiplying here by 5 both the places. Okay, so these all four ratios, they are same. Then we can write down the answer. X upon 7 is equal to 5 upon 3, that is equal to 3x upon 21 is equal to 5y upon 15. See, now we got these required numerators here, which we can add by using the theorem of equal ratios. Okay, so at this stage you are going to use the theorem on equal ratios or the theorem of equal ratios. So write down the statement. By the theorem of equal ratios, we can write down the new ratio which we have done by adding these two is same as the original ratios. Okay, so original ratios you need to write first. X upon 7 is equal to y upon 3, and we are adding these two. Okay, so add numerators in the numerator and add denominators in the denominators. So 3x plus 5y upon 21 plus 15 is equal to 3x plus 5y upon 36. Number these as 1. See, we have found out the first one. Still we have to find out the second one by following the similar method. Okay, so first of all you copy it down. I hope you have completed it. Let us start with the second ratio now. Here also you need to observe what we want, and accordingly you have to take the multiples here. Okay, so here also you have to observe. See, here we want 7x. So in the first place we will have 7. We will multiply both the places by 7. And in the second one we want minus 9. So while multiplying we will take minus 9. You can take plus 9 also, but then you need to subtract. If you are taking minus 9, then directly you can add. Okay. So let us see, start with the, you have to follow the similar steps. Okay. So see, and I have written because I am solving the second one. X upon 7 is equal to y upon 3. As I want 7x, I am multiplying both the places by 7. So 7 into x divided by 7 into 7. And here I want minus 9y. So I am multiplying by minus 9 both the places. Minus 9 into y upon minus 9 into 3. Then write down the answer. Okay. Simply 7 sevens are 49 and minus 9 into 3 is minus 27. So we got these ratios. Now the next step is to add these two. Okay. So by which theorem we can do this? By the theorem on equal ratios. So again write down the statement. By the theorem of equal ratios or on equal ratios, of or on, any word you can use. Okay. So the first two ratios, which are original one, we are keeping as it is. And here we are adding these two ratios. So 7x minus 9y upon 49 minus 27. Here if you multiply by plus 9, then also it is okay. But while writing here, you must write minus. Okay, because in question minus is given. Okay. So even though in the theorem plus is given, you can put minus sign also, because you know that to subtract is nothing but to reverse and add. Okay, that opposite number we are adding. Okay, so subtraction sign also is allowed. Don't think that in the theorem plus sign is given and we are using minus. No, that will also do. Okay, so finally here 49 minus 27, we are going to get 22. Number these as 2. So there we got the first statement, here we got the second statement, and combiningly we are going to write the final answer from 1 and 2, that x upon 7 is equal to y upon 3 is equal to 3x plus 5y upon 36. The first fill up which we wanted is equal to 7x minus 9y upon 22. Okay. So this way you are going to complete it. Please write it down and be very careful about signs here while copying. Don't make mistakes. Writing the reason that which theorem you are using for this particular step is very important. Okay. And also this theorem of equal ratios is applicable in higher standards. In 10th standard in geometry you are using this theorem. So don't forget it. Okay. You have to keep in mind this. All the properties of ratios like invertendo, alternando, componendo, dividendo, all we are using in geometry also in 10th standard. So these things are very, very important. Okay, if you understand the mathematics, all the basic concept in 9th standard well, then the math subject will be easier for you in 10th standard. Okay. So I hope you must have completed it. Let us go towards the next question. So as I have said, question number 2, which is similar, you have to observe and do the certain changes. Here, like see, here a is there, so you will not touch this. Here you have minus 2b. So here both the places you will multiply by minus 2. Or you can simply multiply by 2 also, as I have said. And here you want 3c. So you have to multiply both the places here by 3. And then you have to apply the theorem on equal ratios. Similarly, now you have to observe the numbers. Here you have 6. So 3 2s are 6. That means here you have to multiply by 2. Here you have minus 8. And here you have 4. 4 2s are 8. So here you have to multiply by minus 2. Or simply you can multiply by 2 also. Okay, but while writing you should be very careful. And here 14 is given. That means here also you have to multiply by 2. So everywhere you have to multiply by 2. Okay. and while writing use minus sign for the middle one, or while multiplying here you can multiply by -2 and then you can add. Okay, so similarly you will solve this sum as homework. Okay, let us go towards the next question now. Question number 2. 5m minus n is equal to 3m plus 4n. Then find the values of the following expressions. Okay. See, this question does not depend on the theorem on equal ratios. Okay. This is the question which depends on the properties of equal ratios. That means componendo dividendo, which we have seen. You will observe that here componendo dividendo is used. Here also componendo dividendo is given. Okay, so even though the question falls in this particular exercise, you will solve it by using the properties on equal ratios only, or the operations on equal ratios only. So here we have to make use of the given equation to find m upon n, because see here m and mn is given. That means we want the value of the ratio m upon n. So by using the given equation, first of all you have to find what is m upon n, and then you have to perform the operations on that, so that you will get the required fraction, okay, or required ratio. So here also I am solving first one, second one you will do as homework. Okay, keep this in mind. Mark second one as homework. So first write down the given equation. What is the given equation? 5m minus n is equal to 3m plus 4n. Now for solving the equation, always we are equating the like terms. Okay, so like terms we are taking on the either sides and then we are solving. So this 3m we are going to shift on left hand side. At the same time this minus n we will shift on right hand side. Okay, so what we will get? 5m minus 3n is equal to 4n plus n. Minus n will become plus, and here plus 3m will become minus when you change the side. So what you will get? Therefore 2m is equal to 5n. Now we want m upon n. So n you will shift on LHS. So it will go in denominator. And 2 you will shift in RHS. That will go in denominator. So what you will get? M upon n is equal to 5 upon 2. Now see, this question is similar to the exercise from 4.2, that the ratio is given, and from that we have to get another ratio by performing a suitable operation. So here it is very clear that we have to go for componendo dividendo. But before that, observe numerator and denominator. Numerator is m squared and denominator is n squared. But we don't have that here. So we have to square it first. Okay. So when we start, we have to start with the ratio which is given to us or which is found by us, and then you will square both the sides. Okay, so that you will get the required numerator and denominator. M square upon n square is equal to 25 upon 4. See, 5 square is 25 and 2 square is 4. That means we have squared each and every term on both the sides. Okay. Now see, to get this, to get the required ratio, we have to perform the operation componendo dividendo. So write down by componendo dividendo. Componendo dividendo means what? To add numerator to denominator here, and in the denominator we have to subtract denominator from the numerator. So we will write m square plus n square upon m square minus n square. But we have to do it on both the sides. So here also we will do 25 plus 4 upon 25 minus 4. So the answer is 29 upon 21. Okay. So this way we have found out the answer of first one. Now for second one, again you will use this original ratio which is found by us, that is m upon n is equal to 5 upon 2. But now numerator is 3m and denominator is 4n. So here you will multiply both the sides by 3 upon 4 and then you will solve. Got it? Same operation you are going to perform, only this step will be different. Here we have squared. Here you have to multiply by 3 upon 4 both the places and you are going to get the answer. Okay? So copy it down. Don't forget to write down the reason here, because of this operation only we can write down this step. Also don't forget to do componendo dividendo on both the sides. That is important. Okay. Let's go to next question, that is question number 3. Now this is little bit different, where we have to apply the theorem on equal ratios. We have seen certain sums in solved examples also. Now see, this is the from first question is given. If a inside the bracket y plus z is equal to b inside the bracket z plus x is equal to c inside the bracket x plus y, and out of a, b, c, no two of them are equal. That means what? See, why this condition is given? Because in the denominator you see that b minus c. If they are equal, then this bracket is going to become 0. And you know that 0 cannot appear in denominator. So this condition is given, that no two of them are equal. Okay, that means a is not equal to b is not equal to c, and a is not equal to c. That way. Okay, understood why this condition is given? Because if they are equal, the denominators are going to become 0, which is meaningless here in this case. Okay, so first of all, you have to observe what you are provided with and what you want to find. So here what we can see here is x, y, z, they appear in numerator, and a, b, c, they appear in denominator. That means a, b, c are not present in numerators. So here this a, b, c we don't want, we need to eliminate them. At the same time a, b, c we want in denominator. So we will take this original ratio and we will divide this each and every ratio by a, b, c. Okay, our very first step is that we will take the original ratio, and since we want a, b, c in denominator, we are going to divide each and every ratio by a, b, c. Okay, so a inside the bracket y plus z divided by a, b, c is equal to b inside the bracket z plus x divided by a, b, c is equal to c inside the bracket x plus y divided by a, b, c. Simply you will copy these three given equations here, and you will below you will write down a, b, c, a, b, c, a, b, c. Okay. Now when you do this, what you will find is here a and a is getting cancelled in the first ratio. In the second ratio b and b is getting cancelled, and in the third ratio c and c is getting cancelled. So we will get the new ratios now as y plus z upon bc is equal to z plus x upon ac is equal to x plus y upon ab. Okay. So now you will observe that we got the required variables which are a, b, c here in the denominator. Now again observe, we need to show all these three ratios equal. That means we have to apply theorem on equal ratios 3 times. And what operation we are supposed to do, that you have to observe in denominator. See this denominator a inside the bracket b minus c, if you expand it, you are going to get ab minus ac. Okay, so the very first operation in the denominator is what? AB minus AC. So we have to consider these two ratios. We have to go for AB minus AC. Okay, so think and act here. AB minus AC we are going to do, that is our first one. We are going to apply the theorem on equal ratios, and by using that we are writing each ratio is equal to, see in the denominator AB minus AC is written. For better understanding, you expand this AB minus AC, that you write down in denominator. Now see this ratio. First you have AB. So whatever is there above AB, that you write first, then minus sign, and then the numerator of AC, that is Z plus X, that you will write down. Did you understand how to do it? See, first of all observe this AB minus AC, that you write down here, and same sequence you follow in the numerator while writing, that the numerator of AB you will write first minus the numerator of AC. Now see here, you will observe that because of this minus sign, this plus x will become minus, and this plus x and this minus x will get cancelled, and we will get y minus z. And now while writing this particular step, again take out a as common so that we can get the required denominator as we have in the question. Okay. So the first one we have got. Number this as 1. Okay. Now again we are going to apply the theorem on equal ratio. But don't write down again the statement. You can write down the word also. You can write down the word and. And again we are going to write down the second ratio. So see here, expand again. BC minus AB. So now we are going to consider this third one and the first one. See, BC minus AB. So you are going to subtract these two. So first of all, here you copy down this up to first one. Then I will go to second one. Writing this statement is compulsory. It is a reason for the step which you are performing here. Okay. So here observation is very much important. You have to observe the question. You need to see what is given to you, what you need to find, and accordingly you have to do the steps. Okay. So first one I hope you must have completed. Now I am moving towards the second one. What I said, I want BC minus AB. So I am going to write again. Also each ratio. So see, I have written that BC minus AB. So above BC I have y plus z minus above AB I have x plus y. So here also you will observe that now because of this minus sign, plus y and minus y will get cancelled and we are going to get z minus x. And while writing here, again take out b common and write down b inside the bracket c minus a. Number this as 2. Then go for third one. There you will observe that here in the denominator you have c inside the bracket a minus b. That means if you expand, you are going to get ac minus bc. That you write down in the denominator first. And accordingly you write down the numerator. So here you will find that z and z will get cancelled and you will get x minus y upon c inside the bracket a plus b. Number this as 3. Now see, from 1, 2 and 3 we got 3 different values of each ratio which we can combine and write that from 1, 2 and 3 y minus z upon a inside the bracket b plus c is equal to z minus x upon b inside the bracket c minus a is equal to x minus y upon c inside the bracket a minus b. This is what we wanted. Okay. So please copy it down. So these questions, when you see the questions, you will find that it is difficult, but it is not difficult at all. You have to understand it and you have to do the proper steps, because what you will find is the steps are similar. Okay, so I hope you must have completed it. I am moving towards the next question. Okay, question number 2, sub question number 2 from question number 3. If x upon 3x minus y minus z is equal to y upon 3y minus z minus x is equal to z upon 3z minus x minus y, and x plus y plus z is not equal to 0, then show that the value of each ratio is 1. Okay, here in the previous one 3 different ratios were given and we need to prove them equal. That is why we applied the theorem 3 times. But here we have to find each ratio is equal to 1. Only one common thing we need to find. So here we have to apply the theorem on equal ratios only once. So always start with what is given to you and take those 3 ratios as k. I told you why to take k. so that we need not write each ratio every time. We can write down k. Okay, so you can write this way: let all the three ratios, they are equal to k. These ratios you will copy down from the question as it is. Now we are going to apply the theorem on equal ratios. Okay, no changes we are going to do, because here nothing is provided to us and we need to simply provide that each ratio is equal to 1. So in this case we have to directly go for the theorem on equal ratios. So make use of the statement: by the theorem of equal ratios, k is equal to. So see, we are adding all the numerators here in the numerator. At the same time we are adding all the denominators. So writing this step is very simple. Write down first x, then plus y plus z. So added all. Here also copy down all the three first terms, then put plus sign, then copy these three terms, then put plus sign, and again copy the sums. Okay, so simply you have to copy paste here. Okay, so writing this step is very easy. Now here in the denominator you will find that the like terms are there, their signs are different, so you need to go for addition and subtraction. Like see here, these 3x minus x and minus x, that means 3x minus 2x, you are going to get x. Similarly plus 3y and minus y has appeared twice, so 3y minus 2y, y. Similarly plus 3z minus 2z, you are going to get z. So what is left out in denominator is x plus y plus z. In the numerator you have x plus y plus z. In the denominator also you have x plus y plus z, which you can cancel. But while cancelling, you need to write down the reason that x plus y plus z is not equal to 0. Here plus sign should be there. Please make a change here. By mistakenly equal to sign is given. X plus y plus z is not equal to 0. See, this reason you need to give, because x plus y plus z has appeared in denominator, and as I have said so many times, denominator cannot be 0. So you need to give this reason. Okay, so copy it down. Here write plus sign. As I have said, be very careful about while writing. See, I have made this mistake because you know that in that keyboard, plus and equal to sign, just they are one below another, and I forgot to press shift button, so that my equal to is appeared here. So this was my mistake while typing. I have done the mistake. Similarly, you should be very careful while writing these signs here, plus and minus signs especially. Okay students, so today we are stopping here. Please do the given homework. Remaining sums we will solve in the next lecture, and then we will move towards the next concept, that is K method. Okay students, so thank you. Stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself.